Chelsea.
Hi, I'm Melly.
Hi, I'm Jess.
And we're the Fangirl Diaries. We're here with Jess, our special guest. It's going to be covering all things Batman. We were actually Derby sisters. She was actually my Derby wife.
Ooh,
Well, I was a Derby girl. So we have a special connection.
And I was actually a referee, but I've been a lifelong comic book fan, and I was introduced to comics when I was a kid by my mom, who was a really big fan of Elektra and used to be a power lifter and actually said she was Elektra incarnate. And then when I got into my teens, Batman kind of became my go-to for comic books. I've always loved the Bat, especially when I was a kid, with Batman the Animated Series being on. So it's been a lifelong commitment to Batman for me.
Nice.
Understandable. So in the theme of Batman, we've decided to do a cocktail as usual.
This one's called Harley Quinn's Ace, and it is 2-ounce vodka, 2-ounce Chambord, 1-ounce Saint Germain, and then top it off with some bubbly.
Woohoo! It's a little sweet.
Right, which the original recipe calls for 2-ounce Saint Germain, but we dropped it down to 1 because it was very syrupy. So do it to your liking. If it's still too sweet, just add some more vodka. Vodka
It's never a
bad
bad thing.
So
It'll only help.
So cheers, guys.
Cheers. Boop. Above the mic, cheers.
Yums. So we wanted to start with our trailers. There hasn't been a whole lot of trailers lately because everything has already been kind of explored at this point.
May was pretty big.
What was that?
May was pretty big.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a huge movie month. Hopefully you guys saw all our movie reviews. But The Giver really caught my attention. It seems like a really cool 1984 dystopian kind of story.
Society. Yep. I just finished reading the book, so I'm really excited to see the movie. Hopefully they'll do an accurate adaptation, but they won't. And I can already see that from the trailer. Like they talk about getting the daily injections. In the book it's pills. One of the funny things that I actually am okay with them changing is, well, let me tell you the premise and then I'll let you know. The Giver is actually a person who holds all the memories in this community because they're in a dystopian society where the government controls everything. Citizens have no decision making. Like they have no choice. So the world is black and white. They don't even see color. All of this has been removed from them. No color, no decision over who you marry, no decision over, you don't even keep, like, there's a person who actually gives birth to the population. Your child is not your birth-born child. You are given this child. So it's uber control. So then one of the jobs, because jobs are also given to you, that it's determined by, like, they observe you. So depending on your skill set, that's how they determine what job you're going to have. So there's this boy, Jonas, who is picked to be the receiver of memories, and then there's Jeff Bridges plays the Giver, so he gives him all the memories that nobody else has, like war and pain and color and love and everything that pretty much makes us human. So this boy gets all these things, all these memories, and it evolves from there where he's like, I don't want this is crazy, everybody should know what's really going up. But okay, the thing that they changed that I thought was hilarious in the book, the Giver transmits his memories via touch, but they like strip the boy. He's 13 in the book. He strips him.
It's so pedo. It's not funny.
It's very pedophilish. So he's on a bed, bare-chested, and he has to put his hands on his back in order to transmit the memories. And I thought, as I was reading, I was like, oh, this is like kiddie porn. This is not good. So okay for them to change that. I see in the trailers that they're doing it like hand holding, so that's fine with the transition of the memories. I thought that was hilarious. One of the casts I think is amazing. There's Jeff Bridges, Meryl Streep. What I thought was really funny, Alexander Skarsgård, also known as Eric Northman from True Blood, is the nurturing parental figure for Jonas until later on you see he kills babies, but that's a whole big spoiler, sorry, but you kind of see that on the trailer.
You should know better watching everything that we post.
If you see a trailer, that's gonna,
but you see that in the trailer. So he's very different than Eric, so I like to see Alex in this different portrayal, so it'll be fun. I just thought it was very ironic that he's like, oh, gaga over little babies, and on True Blood he's like, let me drink some babies. So
tiny humans.
Yeah, but this is great, and I have to thank the Hunger Games series for opening this world up to actually being able to have more of these books and these dystopian societies come to life, because really they're the ones that open the doors for us, and I'm so excited to see this come to action.
Yeah,
live action.
I'm really excited. I haven't read the book.
Yeah.
The trailer definitely made me want to read it. It looks really awesome. I didn't even know that it was part of the story. I thought maybe it was like a storytelling device with the black and white to color.
Right. And you'll see the bits as he regains the memory of color. Like red hair will become
in the books it's slowly introduced where you get him seeing bits and pieces of different colors one by one, which is one of the symptoms that like he starts realizing before he's even given the task to be the receiver. He realizes, like, he sees an apple and he's like, whoa, what happened to it? It's because he saw it the color of red. So little by little he becomes this extraordinary person that can accept all these memories.
So
and
was he given the assignment to be the receiver, or did he stumble on it? Because the trailer makes it seem like they went somewhere they weren't supposed to, and he stumbled on the giver.
Well, the elders are the ones that, or whoever in the society decides who becomes what. So after extensive research and years of watching, they pick one, because they had chosen a receiver before, like a decade before, and it didn't work out because she couldn't handle the amount of pain that was given, and she was like, I don't want this. I don't want to live in this society. I don't want to be a part of this. So then they had to start the search over, and finally they found this boy, Jonas, who had all the qualities that would befit a receiver. So, and then the thing is that the giver's in a lot of pain because he has all the memories of anguish, of a loss of a child, of loss of a parent, of war, of famine. He has everything that
everybody else is protected from.
Right. So he needs to get rid of, as he transmits the memories, he gets rid of them. So he's at the point where he can't continue anymore.
Right.
But they make a decision that this shouldn't be the way that society continues, and that's where you'll get more into the action. I don't want to ruin anything else, but it's part of a 4-book series, so we'll see how they end it, because in the book it ends like a pretty big cliffhanger. Like, you don't know what's going on with a character at the end. I haven't read the rest. I'm dying to get into it.
I think that was the weirdest thing about reading it in school, was that they never told us that there was a next book.
Really?
What? Yeah.
So you guys were just left with like, okay.
That's it? Yeah.
We read it in like middle school, and they never told us that there was a continuation to the series.
There's 3 more books. Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Do your own research, kids.
Seriously.
This is all we're giving you. But something that doesn't have a trailer just yet, but we've been hearing a lot of rumors and news about, is Batman versus Superman, which obviously has the most controversy because of his casting of Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne.
Batfleck.
Fangirl LC, thumb down.
Yeah, guess thumb. 2 of them. No.
And I'm like, I'm going to be the positive one here. So I'm going to say one down and one halvesies. I don't know. I think that I like Ben Affleck as an actor. I know that he did really shittily in Daredevil, but I feel like that may have been the script and not him, you know?
And I think that's the problem, because I have him stuck in that role, even though he was great in Argo.
I feel like the problem is you put him in another superhero role.
I can't get over Daredevil.
All you can think of is Daredevil.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that they've gone with the Dark Knight Returns style costume, which looks like it's got Daredevil horns instead of bat ears. Because, come on, there's so many better styles of cowl that are so much more iconic. But it goes with the way they want to characterize Batman in this movie. Because they want him to be that go fuck yourself, reclusive, semi-retired, Dark Knight Returns kind of a Batman. But
I'm okay with that.
I don't know if Ben Affleck's got the chops for it.
Yeah.
But who do we want instead? Like, do we have any
I think it's
Actors
too
not
soon,
big.
regardless.
I'm not over Christian Bale being Batman. Like
That
he
series just
owned-
ended.
It did.
That's why he owned that role so well. Like for me, that's the best portrayal of the entire series. Thank you, Nolan. Christian Bale was amazing as Batman, and the way Henry Cavill owns Superman, which I think is a fantastic fit. I don't see that with Ben. I just don't see that fit. So
I don't either. And I think part of the problem with Batman is in the last 30 years, we've had so many different
That's true.
iterations of Batman.
very true.
We've had, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale,
Come on, we've had some bad ones. So
and
let's
3
give
or
Ben
4
Affleck a little
different
bit of
animated
slack.
ones. There's
Yeah.
just it's too much, but I don't know. This I don't know.
Let's see. It might be his all-time best role of a lifetime, but I doubt it.
One can hope with the schedule they're talking about, because they want to give us a lot of Ben Affleck as Batman.
I'm okay without it.
They've got a Justice League movie they want to shoot, and they've got some other stuff where they will definitely be giving us more Batfleck, assuming it's successsul.
What if it bombs? Do you think they're just gonna abandon the projects, or do you think that they'd recast?
I think that I feel like it's hard to tell. I think Henry Cavill probably as Superman is something they're gonna want to keep.
Yeah.
Keep
So
it.
they're looking at a
Keep him.
a real second Man of Steel movie.
Right.
So I think that regardless of what happens with this one, there's probably still a good chance that one's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But then a lot of their proposed stuff I think is gonna have to hinge on how Dawn of Justice does.
Right. And what do you guys think about Wonder Woman and her cast?
Well, Gal Gadot
Okay, that's all.
she's known for doing the Fast and the Furious movies.
Which is not really
A
great.
defining
I don't-
Not
yeah.
real great.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I there are just so many choices that could have been better. I know that for a long time people were pulling for Jamie Alexander, and she wasn't up for it because she's Sif in the
Right.
Thor series.
Yes, I was all for her, actually.
I think
And I
she
think
would
she
have
would've
been
been
great.
great.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind the Evangeline Lilly.
That probably could have been doable.
No.
I think it
I
could have been
didn't.
doable.
No, I
'Cause
guess
you
you
could
just hate her
train.
from Lost, so it's never gonna change.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was real shitty in Lost,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
Sorry.
Gina Torres would have been a real
Yeah.
long shot choice, but
But-
would have been awesome,
Yeah.
I think.
yeah, she would have been good too. I mean,
Just had the body for it.
yeah, I mean, I know they're training this girl. I've seen Instagram photos that she's been posting, and she's getting
She's
bulkier.
body type doesn't
Okay,
matter.
listen.
I can train, but I don't
Wonder
care
Woman
about that.
can't be a little toothpick, okay? She's an Amazon. She's got to be feminine, but yet, she needs to throw a car over her head.
It's tricky. It's tricky casting for sure.
It
It's not
could
an
be
easy
worse if they extend the Justice League enough and they get to characters like Knockout or Big Berta. I am terrified of what they would do because, how statuesque they are is such a part of these characters,
And we know Hollywood and their body image issues.
They
so-
should just leave the casting up to the fans. They should do
I've seen
a
some really
vote
good fan
online
casts for
and
stuff.
just let us make the decisions.
I don't think that
this
would be
be
such
better.
a bad thing.
Yeah,
I think it would save us some of the weirdness we have going on here because we have
we would never have voted for Ben Affleck.
That's
just
for
saying.
sure.
I don't know if Jesse Eisenberg would have taken a popular vote either for Lex Luthor.
I'm okay with
I
that
like it.
because he's such a dick in real life, or at least according to your interviews, you come off as a real dick. So
Sorry.
I think you're great with being Lex, especially since it's now the Lex Corp is going to be a .com era. It's not going to be they're making it more towards our
Modern.
current time.
Yeah.
So it's ironic that he's also Mr. Facebook. So I think it's funny,
Yeah.
and he fits. So
Yeah, I think that that's actually going to work
Yeah.
pretty well. I like Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I think that was a good pick.
Kind of gotta love Jeremy Irons, so
I mean,
I don't see where there's anything wrong with that.
he was
Yeah.
Scar. I mean, how
I'm
can you
really
deny
good.
Scar.
Well,
Yeah.
I know, but you kind of love to hate him, and Alfred is just so lovable.
He is. He
but
is.
I'm really good with everyone's casting except for Ben Affleck.
I don't know, this new
I'm
rumor
sorry.
circulating that Jason Momoa has been confirmed for Aquaman
Yes.
kind of has me questioning, because he's been talked about for a role for a while. And
I'm okay with that.
I would have seen him more as somebody like Lobo, who's an intergalactic biker badass. But
we'll take
having
this.
him play
Okay.
Aquaman is just a reason to have to see the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And he will be at our SuperCon in July.
Yay.
So, yay!
We love you.
Total
Sorry.
fangirls for Jason Momoa.
Sorry you died in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
about the most.
Worst moment.
Sorry.
Worst moment for all female kind. But yeah, I think he'll be great as Aquaman. I know Aquaman's not exactly like a fan favorite.
He's not really a badass. The
Yeah.
running joke
Oh.
used to be that even Aquaman doesn't want to be Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean the only reason I'm gonna go see this is because of who
Yeah,
they cast.
let's
it.
make
I-
this clear.
Yeah,
Let's
I could
make this
like
clear.
that's not a character. TC, oh dear, no. Like I could care
I find
less.
it interesting which ones you guys are picking to put in this movie, let's be honest here, because you're forgoing obvious favorites like Arrow, like Green Arrow, who you've got this TV series, and he's carrying it really well, and
Yeah.
this is a character that's got name recognition right now, and there's no sign of him being in this movie. But they're taking a shot on Aquaman.
Yeah, well we'll see. I have high hopes.
I think they're trying to cover the entire universe, which we'll talk about later,
Yes.
but I think maybe a little bit of a mistake in terms of oversaturation.
Too much too
fast.
soon.
Yeah. But when it comes to TV shows, we had an explosive Hannibal finale, which I think was like the most like
Oh my god,
Yeah.
holy fucking shit. Like, that was
OMG
incredible.
moments of the entire season. It culminated into this insane finale where you're left to believe that almost everybody is dead.
Or
They're
wondering who
not.
lives.
Right.
They're not.
Right.
Abigail for sure, because that was a whole lot of blood. But no, Will's gonna be okay. He has to be, because then there wouldn't be a series. Like he's
Well, I mean, how many times can you not really kill Abigail?
well, that's true.
This has to be it, guys.
She's just
If
really,
not, it's just
come
gonna be
on.
a running gag from now on.
Yeah, it'll be like the
She's-
series trademark.
Yeah,
Is she
like-
dead? No, of course not.
I love how seductive this series is. I love the art. I think it's the most artistically beautiful show on TV right now. That whole scene where Alana is plummeting to her death, or maybe death, I think is gorgeous with the rain. And when Mads comes out and he's just standing there in the
Yeah.
rain and
Yeah.
bloody, and it's beautiful. It's so
But,
beautiful.
I mean, it should be no surprise. It's Brian Fuller.
Yeah.
He's like an artist on his own. He's done really, really beautiful things in the past. So, not surprised that
No.
he's working his magic with
amazing.
Hannibal. I'm actually really happy that he decided to cover something so dark, since his catalog is like really
Very
light.
upbeat.
Yeah, light, positive, kitschy
This is
type
fantastic.
material.
He's
so.
done brilliantly with this, and I hope that most of you stayed watching after the credits, because you got a little sneak preview to season 3, which was probably one of my favorite parts of the entire
Yeah,
episode,
that
because
moment-
you're like, what?
Yeah.
Not expecting it
Bedalia
at all.
And
No.
Hannibal jet setting to, I think, Paris. Or,
Yeah.
And
Sorry, Gillian Anderson, that Crisis got canceled, but hopefully they
Yeah.
bring you back for a lot more Hannibal.
we rather
Season
you,
regular, maybe?
we rather
Would be
you not do
great.
Crisis. We'd rather you be here with Hannibal, because you guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
You're so poised and methodical and just
and you play off each other
seductive,
beautifully.
and you guys
Yeah.
are equals, and I love that. And I'm dying to see whether he pretty much like kidnapped you, or that you're there for the ride, or what's going on with you guys.
Yeah,
I
that's what
love
I love
it.
about Hannibal, is that you never know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
You never know anybody's inner workings.
And we
So,
haven't read the books,
No.
so for once, I'm actually looking forward to the not knowing.
Yeah, I would actually want to sit back and enjoy the show, because the
Yeah.
show's that good. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
They've
feel
been
the need
taking
to
stuff
read.
like out of sequence, some
Yeah.
of it, and like
Yeah, I
using
really
really
think
memorable
so.
moments.
Like, they're already in Red Dragon.
Or
And
they're
Fuller-
starting, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Fuller had said that he had a 7-season
Yeah.
plan that included season 3 as a fugitive season. and
Oh, I didn't know that.
4 was gonna start with Red Dragon.
Oh,
Right.
see, I thought we were already going to kick into Red Dragon.
No,
this
I-
Okay,
what I've
yeah,
been
I thought
hearing
next
is-
season was going
yeah.
to be Red Dragon.
This is
so.
until Will captures
Right,
Hannibal.
'cause-
If Will survives,
He will. He'll
You
be
never
fine.
know, guys.
He'll be fine, because then
Even
there can't be
Fuller, but even
series.
Fuller wants to keep the suspense with not having any of those regulars that were in jeopardy in the first episode of the next season.
I
It's
think
just
Jack and
gonna
Will
follow
will be fine.
Bedelia and Hannibal.
Ah, man.
Well, I'm okay with that too.
yeah,
'cause
that
I
would
love
be
that.
okay. That
I
would
think
be
it's
a
gonna be
pretty
great,
good show.
but
I love
I
that,
want to know
so.
who died.
Well, we'll find out the second episode.
Yeah.
But it's definitely the first time I got mad at Hannibal. Because
I didn't.
I really, really love all the characters on the show, not just him. And
your inevitable betrayal.
I was okay.
Dare he?
I was like, go ahead, honey. Just kill them all. Go ahead.
I mean, we all know.
It'll be dinner. It's fine.
We all know about the love affair between Will and Hannibal. So.
Which I really need to get into the fan fiction on that. I love it so much. That's why my favorite scene was when he's with Will and he sniffs out Freddy's scent. And it's like that turning point where he was like, we're BFFs and I love you and I probably want to lick you, but now I just smelled her, so you obviously betrayed me and now I have to kill you and eat you.
Now
so
you must die.
Yeah.
Now you have to die. But I loved that. That was probably my favorite scene because Mads is so great and his face, the facial expression was just priceless.
He's so creepy.
Because you could just see the switch from adoring Will to, oh, I'm going to fuck you up now. It was fantastic.
And he really did.
Fantastic.
Yep.
My favorite moment of Creepy playing off of Creepy was Hannibal and Mason, though.
Yeah.
Yes. That was one of the best villains I've seen in the series, and who doesn't love Michael Pitt? I love him.
He was so
It was
convincingly
so great.
terrifying.
So crazy.
Yeah, so insane. He's such an amazing actor.
Yeah.
I love him. And his sister. I mean, his sister was ridiculous.
Oh, poor
I
Margot.
loved her writing outfits.
Margot just can't win.
Yeah, no, she really
Well, at
can't.
the end,
Just
she
check
was
out.
like...
She needs to be on that plane with
Well, that's
Hannibal.
true. At the end,
But at the
you
end,
kind
she
of
was like,
saw her
you're-
having the
yeah.
upper hand.
Yeah.
He was like,
but
you're
yeah.
my bitch now, so
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
So good for her.
Yeah, good for you, Margot. But they also just confirmed that they're going to be at Comic-Con. So we're going to have a Hannibal panel.
You need to stalk him.
And our
Jealous.
actors will be wandering around San Diego. I won't be actually in attendance for the panels, but I will definitely be around the convention center. So I will have my Mads antenna on, waiting to find you. I will find you. We'll have a full
Stalk
report
on.
afterwards. I'm not a stalker. I don't know what you guys are talking about. We just happen to run into people with drinks. Don't judge me, Mads.
We love you.
After a few cocktails, I don't know what I may do. Just saying.
She won't eat you.
That you won't have to
So.
worry about. But on to something completely different. But just as fervent a fan base is a Sailor Moon. We're going to have a
Yay.
new version called Sailor Moon Crystal. It will not be a reboot of the original anime. It's going to be following the manga, which means that we're going to be getting some new twists and turns. It won't be the same old, same old.
No.
Hulu is actually airing all the old episodes. Every Monday they add 3 new episodes, which has been really great because it aired in 92.
We are old.
We are officially old. I was
Yeah.
11 when it aired, which was a very long time ago. Yeah, I don't think I watched it when I was 11. I was definitely in
Yeah.
high school, but it still made me feel really, really old, and I didn't really remember the ins and outs, so I'm glad that Hulu is refreshing our memory before the new season kicks in. But I saw the trailer last night, and it looked really beautiful. Like, the animation is gorgeous.
Yes, and I like that they've actually changed the animation a little bit. It's not the same art style that we saw in 92.
Yeah, and the
that's
internet's
to be
been
expected because
really upset about it though, because I've seen that it more closely resembles the manga style.
And that's the whole point. That's what they're trying to go for. And that's okay. Change is fine. It's been decades later and it needs change. So I'm excited to see the new art style.
I've never really seen the series before,
You have to.
but from what I've
Gotcha.
heard,
Do it.
they made a lot of changes in the original adaptation. And from what I've been hearing, they're not going to do that with the source material for the new series.
Yeah. I mean, the main complaint with the anime was that they spent too much time on the monsters of the week and not on the characters, so there wasn't like that deep character development
Right.
that the manga has.
Well, that series also was very extended. It was like over 200 episodes, I think. And this will be 26 episodes. So we'll be getting the first and third Saturday of every month. That's when they'll be airing.
Yeah.
On Viz Media, or no, I'm sorry, Viz Media wasn't confirmed.
It wasn't confirmed. It's going to be on Nico Nico,
Okay.
but they're not sure if that's going to be dubbed or subtitled.
So they need to be a little bit more adapted towards the manga and the main stories than extending it because it's limited for this year. It's
Yeah.
a year, but it's only 26 episodes.
But it's a year of Sailor Moon.
Yay!
Yay! so good. I was such a fan growing up that I watched the live action version, which is completely ridiculous, but I would honestly recommend it to any Sailor Moon fans.
I need to see that.
Because it's so good, it's bad. It's kind of like pugs, you know? They're so ugly, they're cute.
Aww.
Yeah, I love pugs, but just like I love live action Sailor Moon. I mean, you gotta give it a chance.
Have a few cocktails and watch it, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Watch it. It'll fuel the fire for sure. I mean, I feel like this is the summer of Sailor Moon. Between Hulu re-airing and the new episodes coming out, I think that we're gonna get a whole bunch of new fans, which is really great because we're gonna tune in a new generation
Absolutely
of Sailor Moon fans, and that's amazing because it was iconic for us. That's what we grew up on. That was my first taste of anime ever. I had never watched anime before I watched Sailor Moon, so it gives me a whole bunch of yummy nostalgic feelings when I watch it. And Luna is awesome.
We love Luna.
Yeah,
it's the only cat I've ever loved.
Yeah, that's the cat.
Yeah.
She's the brains behind the operation. But a show that hasn't started yet, but it's been buzzing around big time is Gotham, which is going to be on Fox. What do you think of it, Jess?
I'm excited for it. I was kind of hoping when it got announced that they were going to run with a police procedural in the style of the Gotham Central comic that had run. But it turns out they're going to give us more of a new take on the origin stories for the iconic characters that inhabit Gotham that if you follow the series or have seen the movies, you might have come to know and love. So they've already announced that we're going to be following Jim Gordon as he rises through the ranks to become lieutenant. And we've also got a supporting cast that's going to be rounded out with a lot of the villains as kids.
I'm excited for that.
I'm really interested to see what they do with it. They've announced so far Poison Ivy, Catwoman, the Riddler, and the Penguin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, does that mean I'll get to see cute little penguins? That'll be fantastic.
I'm kind of interested to see what route they're going to take with that because Oswald had some varying background stories that could make it interesting and provide for some cute, cuddly penguins one could hope.
Yes, please. They're my favorite.
And the series is also going to follow some of the characters from the series that have never gotten that much light on film or TV. We're going to have some of the detective characters from the Batman universe getting life.
Which is good.
Yeah, I thought they would take the whole, like you mentioned, that they were going to maybe do the whole having like the police procedural thing because it's from the creator of The Mentalist, which is one of those episodes where it's the same thing. And I watch it. I love it. But every episode, it's like bad guy, we catch bad guy and move on. There's an over arc that you follow along through each season, but that they have all of that. So maybe we will get a little bit of that with Gordon.
I'm thinking that we're gonna have to have
something.
Not so much Freak of the Week because we're gonna have Batman as a young kid. We've already confirmed.
So there's not much that he's gonna be able to do.
Yeah, we've confirmed casting for a young Bruce and a fairly young Alfred as well. And we're going to see Gordon, I believe, responding to the murder of Bruce's parents in the series.
Like, that's the first time he meets
Bruce
because he's investigating their murder.
Right.
So I hope they're going to develop some really compelling stories with the other detective characters that they're picking.
Yeah.
Because they've got Harvey Bullock, who, if you actually watched the animated series, got a lot of play in it, but has never been in a live-action Batman movie or show.
Right.
And he's going to be played by Donald Logue, who was pretty fantastic last season on Law & Order, and then left, leaving himself the window to come back.
Just in case Gotham doesn't work out.
I mean, you never know. You got to leave your doors open, people.
And then the other real notable that we have for the series is Jada Pinkett Smith was cast as a gangster character that they've created for the show to be a main antagonist in the first season.
Okay. She's fun.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
We'll see. I mean, who knows? I'm hoping that it will be awesome. I love origin stories, and I'm glad that they're touching on Batman's.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a widespread superhero. Everyone loves Batman.
You know what? I'm curious how much Batman, how much young Bruce we will
That's
actually
what
see.
I'm actually excited to see, that we're not going to, it's not overly saturated on Batman, that the main character is Gordon.
Gordon himself is really fascinating.
And that's what I want to
stuff
see.
go
So,
on.
because we have so much of the Batman story.
Yeah.
Which I love, you bats, but I'm interested in seeing some of the other character development.
I have to admit, I'm kind of hoping that it might lead into Batgirl someday.
That would be cool.
Because of the tie between
Yeah.
Barbara and Jim Gordon, obviously.
Right. Well, we'll see where it goes. I'm hopeful.
Yes.
I think it's going to be really great. But something else that is starting this summer is Hemlock Grove. It's a Netflix original. It's directed by Eli Roth, right?
Yeah, he adapted it from the book by Brian McGreevy of the same name, and the first season aired last year, and left us with some pretty big cliffhangers as to the fate of the leads and where we're gonna be picking up, because we last saw one of the two leads actually leaving Hemlock Grove.
So tell me what this is about, because I really only saw the first episode and then I got scared, so I stopped watching it. But I would like to know, like, what's the premise? And
Okay.
so I just saw the pilot.
Hemlock Grove was Netflix's entrance into the supernatural. As I keep knocking things down, sorry about that, folks. Hemlock Grove is Netflix's entrance into the supernatural thriller arena. And they've got a story driven by a character who's a werewolf.
I love me the werewolves.
And they feature what I think is one of the most fascinating werewolf transformations that I've seen on film possibly ever. It's got like the right combination of gruesome and cool effects to it to be really compelling. And then they waited a couple episodes before you even see it happen. They're like, you're gonna have to stick with this before we give you the payoff you're wanting.
Right.
But is it like really scary?
There are definitely some really great horror moments, and there are some other moments that are really driven by the character drama that's included.
So it's more monster based, right?
It's definitely a monster series. The core of it is definitely about these two. There's the main werewolf character, who is played by Landon the Boron, and then his foil character is actually played by Alexander Skarsgård's little brother. And these two young men are the characters that lead us through the world of Hemlock Grove, and it's through them that we see everything, and we meet Bill Skarsgård's character is named Roman, and we meet his mother and his extended family and his very strange sister, whose fate was left in the dark at the end of season 1. But the trailer they've released for season 2 has shown glimpses of her, so we're left wondering what's happened to Shelley. And there's been a white wolf spotted in the trailer, leaving questions as to what's going to be happening. Because at the end of season 1, they've supposedly defeated the Vargulf that they've been after. But if you watched the season and you caught the end credits, there was banging in the casket.
And this is what I love about Netflix, that like I could just go binge watch all of this right now.
It's really great. You can absolutely catch up before the next season starts on July 11th.
Honestly, I've been thinking about having a Fangirl Diaries sleepover where we all binge on a certain show.
This would be a fantastic start.
Yeah, exactly. And make themed cocktails, of course.
Yes.
Possibly for every episode.
Yes.
And make it a Google Hangout and have all of you guys participate with us.
Join us.
Yeah.
Watch
do
along
it.
and drink along.
Exactly. So, yeah, look out for that. We'll probably plan it sometime this summer.
And actually, if you were a fan of Orange is the New Black, in season 2, Hemlock Grove is going to be adding Madeline Brewer, who played Trisha on the first season of Orange is the New Black.
She was the white junkie with the little braids.
And who doesn't love Orange is the New Black? So yeah, that's definitely something to add to the binge list this summer, along with everything else we talked about in our previous podcast. But in the fall, we're looking at a very geek-heavy TV schedule which has us both excited and concerned, I think.
There's a lot of oversaturation, and I'm worried that it's going to just burn out. Like, there's a lot going on, and I don't know how to keep up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's the spin-off of The Flash, the spin-off from Arrow. You have the Daredevil coming up, Constantine, which looks kick-ass.
Constantine looks fabulous.
Yeah.
And you know what? No offense to Keanu Reeves, but at least he actually looks like John Constantine this time.
I honestly loved the movie. I thought
I
it was
did too.
You know what? The
I
movie
did
was
too.
fun, but if you were a fan of Hellblazer, the movie was just not John Constantine.
No.
Aw. Well, I enjoyed it.
But the trailers are setting the show up to be amazing.
It does look,
Yeah.
visually it looks really good. So,
You know, I'm
At least
hoping
they're
it kind
spending
of
money on
carries
that.
with the way they're doing Hannibal, because it's taking Hannibal's slot for fall.
Okay. All right.
we'll see.
We
I'm
can do
excited
that.
to see that one. I'm good with the Flash spinoff because CW does good with spinoffs. I love the originals, the spinoff of Vampire Diaries. I'm looking forward to Flash because if you watched Arrow, or if you didn't, you'd still be okay starting the Flash from the beginning, not having watched it previously on Arrow, so it's fine. I have a few issues with maybe his costume, but hopefully they'll work on that. I love the scientists that they've casted that are going to be working with him. So I'm excited for this. I know a lot of people have reservations on it. And again, a lot of reservations come from that it's just so many comic book shows starting up. And like the Daredevil, at least, it's Charlie Cox has been casted.
I love him so much.
He's British. That's all I need
They
to say.
just cast Kingpin too, and it's Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be playing Kingpin
Who's
for
that?
the
I'm bad
Netflix
with
series.
names.
Yeah, me too.
He was Goran on Law and Order: Criminal Intent, and he was also in Full Metal Jacket.
I haven't seen any of
Haven't
the
seen either
Law and
of
Order.
those. But Charlie Cox is a win for me because
Yeah.
he was in Stardust. And
He was.
He was also in Boardwalk Empire. And I freaking love him.
And he's British.
And adorable.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah, total babe. So I'm
And that's also
all
going to be a
for him.
Netflix original. So
Yeah,
hopefully
and-
when it drops, we'll get
yeah.
all of the episodes
And I
at
think
once.
that the series will be much better than the movie.
I hope so. Because they're also
Well,
going to
there's
have
no
like
Affleck.
Hell yeah, let's start there. But I think Netflix wants to expand on that universe too.
They
It's
do.
not just
They're
going to be a
doing-
Daredevil movie.
Of course, because
Or
everybody wants to cash in on the comic book.
I think it was
Great
like 4
phenomenon
series
right
that
now.
Netflix
The
has been
fad.
contracted to do for Marvel.
Right.
And Daredevil is
Yeah.
just the first.
Right. So I mean, we're excited because being geeks for so long, I mean, seeing everything we
Right.
love turning into gold basically is great.
But at the same time, I'm worried because,
Yeah.
gosh, couldn't you have done this like 10 years ago, 20 years ago when I was an adolescent?
Or, staggered them
10
instead
years
of
ago.
giving us 5 or 6 new options this year.
yeah.
And Marvel, get your shit together. You guys just figured out how to make Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. watchable. And now you're going to do Agent Carter.
You've done great with the movies, much better than DC.
Mhm.
But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know about now because I've heard lots of
That
great
was a
stuff.
tie-in. That was a
But
tie-in.
It
so
tied with the
everyone's-
Winter Soldier, and
Yeah.
it was...
So
Well,
everyone
the
got
first
really
couple
excited.
episodes I saw from season 1, I was just like, okay, I can't. I have too many other good stuff, the good DVR things to keep up with.
Well,
and
that's the thing. Like,
to
I mean,
continue.
it's become so oversaturated with amazing material that you tend to choose the best of the best. Like, it's no longer like, oh, let me give this a shot. There's no
Yeah.
longer that window of like, oh, it's okay. No,
like there's
if
so
it's
much-
okay, you cut it out. Like, we only watch things that are superior because there's so much stuff
Yeah.
out there. And there's so much good stuff out there. Why am I going to watch something that's mediocre? That's how I felt about Once Upon a Time and why I decided to cut it from my DVR.
I kept that
but
one
it got
too.
good again. It got good.
No,
I
it didn't.
promise.
You know what? It
Yes.
took me till
They
the end
play
of the
games.
second season to pick up
Well,
Arrow
the last-
because I was so worried that it just wasn't going to live up.
And
Yeah.
Arrow did. It's good. And with Once Upon a Time, just watch the last 5 minutes.
No,
of,
I did, and that's
Are
why I
you
say
back?
they play games with you.
Yeah.
They're like, oh look, now we're gonna have Frozen.
I
We
feel like
sucked
that's
for a little
really
while.
premature. I'm just
Yeah.
like, really?
I
Is
know,
that
it's super
necessary?
premature.
But
They're
I'm
riding that
excited.
wave.
Yeah.
Riding that wave.
They're
And I'm not
smart.
interested. I'm like, nope, I don't
Oh.
care. I'm not gonna play your game
I
anymore.
am.
You
I'm
keep playing
suckered.
with me, and
You know
nope.
what? There's so much other stuff to watch
Yeah.
that I was just like, I'm going to put you aside for something that's
I'm
a little bit more
suckered
upfront
in.
with me.
I will watch it. I love Elsa, so
I actually haven't seen Frozen either.
Oh, watch our podcast
Oh,
from
no.
last month. We covered it.
So cute.
It's so good.
wonderful.
It's wonderful, but unfortunately, they've decided to ride the wave of its success and in a whole new avenue, like with Maleficent and with Once Upon a Time, that it just feels cheap. I don't know. So they had really great success with Frozen. What they did was like mind-blowing and a new territory for Disney, but then they've gone and run with it.
Yeah, it was good for Frozen.
Right.
And let's leave it there. Just
Continue to grow. Stop like using your same tricks.
Let's
kind
not
of thing.
stagnate.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how fall plays out in terms of comic book heavy programming, but we really, really hope that people don't get sick of it, especially our geeky culture.
Gotham, watch it.
Yeah, I'm excited for Gotham. We'll see how everything else plays out. But in terms of news, probably the biggest news lately has been E3. And Elsie has a bunch of opinions about it. So
it was really difficult to choose which ones to cover with you girls because there's just so much. This summer has really sucked because there hasn't been a lot of games. I was bored with Watch Dogs. My ADHD didn't last very long with Titanfall. I mean, I got over it quickly. So I'm excited to see real games coming out again. Starting with the Halo series, we're getting that remastered collection of the Master Chief Collection, which, yes, I'm a marketer's dream, and I'm going to purchase something that I already have, but it's on one disc now, and it's all like re-imaged and re-edited. So the really cool thing is that the games that we can't play on the new platform, on the Xbox One, now we will be able to play, and you'll be able, with a touch of a button, go from the original graphics to the new re-imaged, and that's really, really cool. And I'm really excited because you could play the entire saga seamlessly on the one disc, and I'm a sucker for it. So take my money because it's gonna happen. And most importantly, with that purchase, I'll get the beta for Halo Guardians, which is coming out, Halo 5. So I'm just all about Halo lately. I love it. So I'm really, really excited for that. That the collection, the Master Chief Collection, comes out November 14th of this year of 2014. So finally, something. Moving on to Tomb Raider, some major girl power, because I had been a little disappointed with the Tomb Raider series in the last couple of years, and then last year they reignited my love with the origin story. And it was so wonderful, and it was so badass, and really good puzzles. And now we're going to see Lara come back in the rise of Tomb Raider. And she went through a lot of traumatic shit last time, so she's talking to a therapist, and you see her, it's really great. You see her, hey, therapy works, people.
Hey,
and you see her going into caves, and we're going to see how she becomes a badass Tomb Raider, so I'm excited to see that. And the best thing is that, just like the last game, it's cross-platforms, so you don't need to just be a PS fangirl or boy in order to play Tomb Raider. You could play it on whatever console you have. Speaking of consoles, the reason why I will probably get a PS4, Uncharted, it's the male version of Tomb Raider, really, because, sorry, Drake, I love you, but Lara was first. Beautiful graphics, really good plot line in every game, so I'm excited to see this, and yes, I will probably buy another console just for this one game.
It's okay, I'm getting the PS4 for Arkham Knight.
There you go. So
they do it on purpose.
I know,
You know
it's
they do.
just here, and just take my money and whatever. But it looks really interesting. I'm excited to see it. Wii U is coming out. Really, I haven't been a fan of the Wii U because, like, the last Zelda, I was really disappointed. It was for the regular Wii, not the Wii U. And it was really long and boring. And I'm a huge Zelda fan, so it was heartbreaking that I wasn't pleased with the last one. But the new one, Legend of Zelda, that's coming out, looks very beautiful. And they should just, like, a tiny itty bitty bit of a sneak peek. But if they're true to the gameplay as they showed us a sneak peek, I will be very pleased. And I might be considering the Wii U as a full-time purchase.
I definitely
so we'll
am.
See.
I love Mario Kart, so I would get Wii U just to play Mario Kart.
Well, you'll have that. You'll have Super Smash Brothers. You'll have the Zelda. So there's a couple fun games for kids that are coming out too. So
and me. And me.
and Nelly. So it'll be good. The last game that I want to touch on that is huge in my world that will suck the life out of me really is Fable Legends. The last Fable glitched out at me on the last level, and I was so disappointed because it was like 60 hours of work, and then I lost it all. So I swore that I would never play another Fable game, but I lied because I'm going to get it. And the reason I got suckered in is because usually it's like an action role-playing game, and you get to make choices, and you become good or evil depending on what you decide. But now, from straight out, you could be the baddie. So I will definitely choose to be the villain, and I will wreak havoc upon the land and mess up all the heroes.
As one does.
Yeah.
Leave terror in your wake.
I'm so excited that you could do that off bat. So I'm looking forward to that. And then just really quick, the last one. There's a game that came out a few years ago called Limbo. And it's the simplest game you could ever see. It's beautiful. And now the same creators are making the new game called Inside. And I'm so excited to see this because it looks just as beautiful. And it's one of those games where you sit and you play through straight because you can't help it. You have to finish it. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, the original was really beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Child of Light is another really, really beautiful game by Ubisoft. So I'm definitely happy that it's being carried by Wii U. So when I get my Wii U, I could definitely play this game, but it looks really gorgeous.
You buy the Wii U, I'll buy the PS4, and I already have the Xbox One, so we could
we're covered.
We're
done.
So we could do it.
It's a problem, guys. It's real. The struggle is real.
It is. And between all the saturation with the comic book movies and TV and all these badass video games coming out and books that I still need to read,
it's overwhelming.
I don't have time for real life, honestly.
If you haven't had enough, though, and like mobile games, there's X-Men Battle of the Atom for mobile. And it's a multiplayer card battle game, which features missions where you can level and then massive 20 versus 20 battles with players versus players.
That sounds fun.
That's amazing.
It's a really good time sink.
The life of a fangirl is a hard one.
Yes.
It's never enough time.
Let's quit our jobs and do this full time.
Exactly. We would love to do that. So if anyone can make that happen, hi, here we are. Here we are.
Absolutely.
Ready and willing. But that about wraps it up for today and all our topics. Remember to follow us on social media. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook fan page. We finally hit our 200 mark on Facebook. So thank you everyone for participating. And remember to click subscribe if you like what you're seeing in terms of our videos and our podcasts. We're up to 60 followers and we really, really like to build that. We'd love to hit the 100 mark sometime very soon. So if you could help us do that, that would be awesome. And we will see you next time, hopefully at SuperCon and at San Diego Comic-Con. So see you at the convention.
Bye.
Bye.